Okay, back to self-driving beta 11.3.1. In my last video, I was mentioning how it was stuck behind some traffic and not passing. I realized it was in the, I think it's called normal mode. Let's see here. What's it called? Average mode. I think that's why, because I had it happen again and I pushed it to aggressive and it passed. Okay, here we go. So there's traffic coming up here. I'm trying to see this kind of corkscrew thing. It sees the traffic on the ramp. We're already in the correct lane to give them space. But on those kind of 270-degree cloverleaf style ones, I was really curious to see what that looked like on the UI. It doesn't paint it out as far ahead as I would like, because as a human driver, if I see the cloverleaf, you know, I'm going to be looking out there, and if I see traffic that's anywhere on that cloverleaf, if it's visible, I'm going to start taking that into consideration for how that might be a factor. Predominantly, should I be in the left lane to give them room if they are a potential conflict, or can I stay in the right lane because there's no one trying to enter? It's a little bit hard to do the mental math on where they're going to merge until they get closer, but if I see some on the cloverleaf, I'm probably going to move over to the left lane just to be on the safe side. I haven't had enough time to see if self-driving does something similar. It would be great to kind of set up a scenario where that might happen, though, to see if it does, if it sees anyone anywhere on that on-ramp, will it move over to give them room? So I haven't had a chance to play that out yet. So we're exiting here in about 2 miles. I'm in the left lane, and we'll see how it acts as far as getting into the right lane. So we're going to pass this guy, it looks like. I know I've said this 2 or 3 times in different video clips already, but V11 is really nice. It just needs to exit the passing lane. That's the biggest thing, and not offset quite so far for trucks. Although that guy up there, he's offset just as far, if not more, than the car was. It's a matter of preference is what it comes down to. I think most people wouldn't prefer to be jumping or driving over these bumps here. See, bump. I think most people wouldn't prefer to do that, so it probably goes a little bit too far. Now we're changing to follow route. Perfect. And this is about a half mile later than it previously used to do, which I'm fine with, especially if there's not a lot of traffic like this. Okay, so we're almost to our ramp, and okay, here's a truck. So there's a truck right there. He's a conflict. He's like right pacing alongside us. I guess we're gonna be in front of him, her. Okay, so that was fine. It wasn't quite a dead conflict. Maybe the car did a better job than I did with anticipating that. So it was perfectly fine. I probably would have moved over because my analysis of the situation was that it was going to be conflict. So here's an issue where I had the speed to 72, now it's to 65, now it's to 60. There could be people behind us that would upset. In this case, there's not. This ramp here has always been a problem. What it's going to want to do, and there's traffic behind me, so I'm going to have to override, is it's going to want to stop to essentially 0 miles per hour at this ramp up here for no reason. There's no sign. It does say 10 miles per hour. Most people would take it closer to 20 to 25. So it's going to want to stop right here, right now. So I'm going to tap the accelerator to push it through because for whatever reason, it wants to stop there. So I will do a snapshot, which does not give you the voice annotation. Anyway, now we're on to city streets. I guess I'll let this play out longer and just see how it does on these surface streets. It's very comfortable, and one of the cool new behaviors is it tends to offset to the outside of the turn, which is really nice. We'll see that a few more times, hopefully. The offsetting behavior is great. It's just more comfortable. It gives you a little bit more room from oncoming traffic. There's a lot of small improvements. It feels more comfortable in a lot of ways, too. At 4-way stops, it does come to a hard stop, which isn't ideal. It feels like it uses the brakes to scrub that last tiny bit of speed. And it's a very slightly jarring. That's a weird vehicle there, but we still see it as a truck. Okay, very nice turn so far here. Very good. That's great and comfortable. Don't get too close to these cars. That's perfect. The speed limit's 45. It missed. Oh, okay. That's new. It used to do 35 through here because it missed the sign. I'll have to review the footage and see if that jumped up. But historically, it's missed the sign and it's always wanted to do 35 for a ways. So that could be an improvement. This turn up here is fairly sharp, and I noticed yesterday it offsets towards the inside of the turn, away from traffic. Let's see if it does it here. I would say yes. We are offset more to the right than the old versions. Yep, so this feels really nice. We are further away from the center line. That feels great. So that's another improvement. Okay, school bus is running. I haven't seen any indications of it necessarily paying attention to school buses yet. Okay, so right turn lane, we have a big truck here. Yellow light, that's fine. That's not a NISHDA area. It's fairly close to that wide load, but not too much. That was fine. I think I may have not gone quite as close to the traffic, but it was comfortable, and I would say more so than previous versions. So now it's pretty much the home stretch here. I did notice an improvement yesterday on this drive. There's a section where we come over a hill, not this one, but one in about a half mile or so, where the car would always kind of slow down, a micro slow down, 1 mile, 2 miles per hour, just because there was some uncertainty going over the hill, and there was parked traffic similar to this that potentially could be stopped traffic in the travel lane. Yesterday I didn't feel that as much, if at all. We'll see what it does up here. My voice is not great. I'm a little bit sick right now, unfortunately. Okay, so this, I think it's this hill here. This next little crest. It's kind of a cliff, right? And we'll see what the speed does. Okay, so it does slow. About 3 miles per hour, because it sees this traffic here, or these parked vehicles, and it must think that they're in the travel lane stopped. So it's a little bit of a comfort issue. A lot of tailgaters around here will be riding your tail, and then they don't like that very much when you slow down even 2 or 3 miles per hour. Okay, you know what? Let me go, let's see if this is still up. Okay, a little slowdown for this guy here, which is unnecessary. I'm gonna go, I'm hands off, and now we're on city streets mode. We'll see if it gives us the same 90 seconds that it does on the highway. So very comfortable, very good. That's better deceleration, but it's gonna stop. Stop, and then go. So it's more of a definite stop. Very good turn. Potentially a little overshoot on the center line there if there would have been someone there. Okay, here's 30 seconds. We're good. Okay, I see a bicyclist. They crossed and they're out of the way. It does see them. Okay, here's a situation where the old version wasn't very good, where you're like the second behind a car. I can't say that's much better. Yeah, that's a lot of wasted time there. It does better if you're the first car, but when you're the second car, there's a lot of wasted time getting up and doing your own stop and then continuing. And you can see here we're up to almost a minute and a half. Okay, a minute and 13. Let me try it again here, reset, and start. We'll try this again. So about a minute 13 on that one. Here's behavior I don't quite like. It's going to start getting over before our turn, which works great in some situations, but maybe not so much on this road. This turn is beautiful, love it. And now we're into residential streets, which honestly have been really good from the very beginning in 2020. I've noticed that it gets closer to trash cans and parked cars than the most recent version. Some of the really old versions, like V8, V9, they get really close to trash cans and really close to cars. It kind of feels like we're back to that. Not a super fan of it getting close like that. I'm talking 12 to 18 inches of trash cans. And it just seems too close. So this is all super comfortable. Really good, and we're running the timer out here. Yeah, it's pretty close to these trash cans. It does route around them, just way closer than it should, and closer than previous versions, so that is a change. Okay, here we're coming up on a minute. Okay, there's a person up here, so hand close to the wheel. See, we're kind of playing chicken with him. I'm going to, okay, that's all right. He didn't look at us, give us a dirty look. So I might have touched the wheel, so we'll see if this timer, yeah, I think I must have touched the wheel a little bit in that interaction there, so it kind of reset the timer. Anyway, that's self-driving 11.3.1.